Pay close attention. This isn't something you see every day.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael by NECA. Now, here we have the beautiful packaging, some beautiful artwork of Raphael here on the package, and then on the side, once again, he is number 3 in the line, Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then on this side here, we have Raphael doing some kind of weird jump through the air. And then this side we have the alleyway. And in, like I said, typical NECA fashion, we open it up and there's Raphael with all his accessories and everything that he comes with. Hence the word accessories. And then the bottom of his skateboard. Now, I made a mistake and said I didn't know what Donatello's was, but that was the bottom of Donatello's skateboard as well. So that's what these little side arts are the bottom of each turtle's skateboard. So yeah, cool stuff. Let's get Raphael out of the package. Let's talk about it quick before we take a look at Raphael. I just wanted to show this off because I finally got all of them in. The only thing we're missing is the foot soldier, which is this one here where Leonardo's kicking. If this matters to anybody, because of the fact that if you're an in-box collector and you display these on your shelf, you have a beautiful mural right here that they painted on the side of the boxes. So you can see Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo kicking a foot soldier, and then Shredder himself. So yeah, I mean, that's really cool that they did that. You put it all together, you got yourself a nice little piece of artwork going on right there. So I just wanted to show that off. If it matters to anybody, if it doesn't, all right, sorry, but hey, you know, I figured I'd show it off because maybe somebody will get a kick out of it. But anyway, with that being said, now let's take a look at Raphael. All right, so now we have Raphael, the final turtle, finally, like I said, waiting for these guys to show up individually was painstaking, but finally got them. Now, unlike Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello, we have Raphael. And there are a few things which I will go over about Raph, which I'm a little disappointed in. But for the most part, looking at this guy, he is absolutely gorgeous. Love the green eyes that they did on him. I mean, his bandana is nice and thin. He's got that grimace on his face. Now, Raphael didn't always have a grimace on his face in the series. Yeah, he kind of looked like this, but he also had a bit of a smile. So, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to knock the head sculpt because it's actually done very, very nicely. Now, his tassels are here running down the back. This one's kind of flipped out. I'd be flipped up like this. I'd be a little careful with that. It is hard plastic, so it's not pliable. The bandana is articulated just like the others. I do like the fact that they put the little notches in here, so it looks like it's tattered a little bit. He has this crack in his shell that he got from Old Hob, or you know, whatever you want to say, but that's how I believe that's how that crack happened when he was an actual turtle before, you know, I mean, before he became mutated. Anyway, moving down, you have his elbow pads, his wristbands, and then you have his hand wraps going on his hands. Now I have this little spots here and here. I guess that's supposed to be part of like the freckles that they have on him, because he doesn't have very many. He has a couple on the head here and there. I don't know if they're coming through, and then a few on the arm. Moving down to the actual belt, you have the notch here. I love the way on all of them, on every single one of them, they have this leather looking effect. And when it comes down to it, Raphael, it has a darker brown than most of them. So that's actually neat too. And then you come down to his knee pads. Of course, they're all skipped up and scarred up from, you know, training and being used and whatever the case it may be. But once again, a darker brown on his color, I guess, to go against the darker green that he is compared to the others. He has the chips in the shell, or the slash marks in the shell, and then he has some line work going on right here, and then down here like the others. Moving down to the legs as well, more freckles, and then his, you know, leather wraps along with the cloth wraps going around on there. The difference that I do see is that he has right here extra wraps underneath, and I've never taken notice until I seen his figure that he actually has extra wraps on his legs underneath his knee pads. So I'm going to have to go back and check that out in the actual series, in the cartoon, to actually see. Moving to the back, you have the back of his shell, beautifully done with some white highlights, and then some more chips and scratches in the back of his shell. Nicely done. I mean, this guy, he's been through it, as you can see, and he has a chip right here matching the one on the other side. And I've never noticed that either in the cartoon, that he has a chip on the back part of his shell. Now, old Hob, I know, was a cat that actually snatched him up when he was a little turtle, so and had damaged his shell. That's how he got the chip. Now, I don't know if that's how that goes in the cartoon, but it's how it went on in the newer comic book. If I got that wrong, leave it in the comments down below. Don't beat me up over it, because it's been a while since I've read those comics, so please forgive me. You got some more damage here in the leather, which is nice. Then you have the little slots for his side to go into, and then once again, had to heat him up because the lower part of his legs did not want to bend. So as I heated them up, they now articulate just fine. So I recommend that with all these. Okay, and I still have to work on the shredder to get his arms fixed, but yeah, beautiful head sculpt. Once again, movement side to side. He can look up, he can look down, so that's good. And then of course, you have this articulation up here inside the shell, which Raph is more stiff than the others when it comes to this rocker that's inside right here. But for the most part, he's good. He's good. And the other thing too is make sure you heat these up too, because these tend to stick. So they the swivel, when it comes to the ankle swivel, they don't want to move as much as they're supposed to. So make sure you do that. Take that caution, because you do not want to break these beautiful looking figures that NECA has made. Now, granted, like my Leonardo video, where I have gone on a rant on the way they have, where the way NECA has done their shipping and not answering back, I'm not going to do that in this. But I'm just saying, regardless of that, they have put out a beautiful, beautiful product. Now, you can see the way they did his head sculpt. If you tip it down, it gives you a little bit more expression. Now he's got a little bit more of an angrier look on his face. So that's cool. But anyway, enough of my ranting. Let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with, because I'm going to roll right into it. And then I'll put him into a couple posings, and then we'll see how he compares to some other figures. So anyway, starting off with his accessories, once again, he comes with his little slice of pepperoni pizza. He comes with the tiny little smoke bomb, which they all come with, so that's nice. And then next he comes with the T-phone. Still same missed opportunity right there. They could have put a little bit of a decal on there or something. But still, I like the way everything looks. Nicely done. I guess it really doesn't matter if they did or if they didn't, because of the fact that how are you going to have it posed, right? You're not going to really be seeing it anyway. He comes with a set of weapon holding hands, and then he comes with some open palm hands or grasping hands, right? And then just like Leonardo, so Leonardo and Raphael are the only two that come with a set of fists. I guess Donatello and Michelangelo don't punch things, but yeah. And the other thing I want to mention really quick in my Leonardo review, I was like, the hang loose hands, they're not. They're his meditation type hands, and I missed that, so I do apologize on that one. But anyway, yeah, I think Raph comes with the least set of hands, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though, but I think he does. I think the other ones come with a little bit more than what Raphael has. All right, anyway, moving on. I thought this was cool. It came with the Spy Roach, which then later on mutates and goes after Raphael. But that's cool that they added the camera on him and all the robotics that Donatello had added on to him. It's a little, and I mean little, addition to this character. So just be careful that you don't lose this little guy, or else he's gonna be gone forever. And then we have Chompy. Now Chompy showed up in season 2, if I'm not mistaken, of the Turtles. He's an alien turtle that breathes fire that Raphael ends up taking care of. I like the way they did the paint and the work on the eyes, the little tongue sticking out. That's cool. The spikes on his shell, you know, kind of like a snapping turtle, and then on the tail itself, nice little tiny figure that they added in. Nice purple shell down here. He's not articulated, and if he is, mine's seized up. So just like Ice Cream Kitty, Ice Cream Kitty is supposed to have articulation, but he doesn't move. But still, this is cool that they added Chompy, but they should have added Slash, because that was his pet turtle, right? From the first season before he mutated and all that, you know, he should have came with his little leaf, you know, like Splinter said, Spike, take a bite of your leaf if you want to hear a story. And then he does. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then we have his whited out eyes, angry face, along with his bandanas, ties in the back, which are longer than all the others, but yet these ones are in a little bit of a different formation. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit. But that's cool that they add that in there. And then we have, if I can get them, because they're so dainty, we have his Sai. And they're beautiful. I think these are one of the best representation of Raphael's Sai. Now, I don't know how fragile they are. I'd be careful, especially when you're trying to put them between the fingers, if they don't slide through to get that look that everybody wants to get with Raphael. I would just be careful. But anyway, they did a beautiful, beautiful job with them. So now that we've taken a look at the accessories, let me get him into a couple of poses, and then we will look at the comparisons and we'll end this review. All right, so now that I showed off some of the poses that you can get Raphael into, let's get into some comparisons. So here's how he compares to Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and last but not least, if I can fit him in here, the Shredder. Now looking at all these characters together, look at the different heights. Leonardo and Donatello are the two tallest, then Raphael, then Michelangelo, and of course, Shredder towers over all of them. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful figures, beautifully done. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. Now, when I'm moving these guys out of here, do I have my pet peeves when it comes to these figures? Yes, I do. Even though that, listen, they're great. All of them are great looking figures to put on your shelf, to pose them however you want. They do have some great articulation, which you can't get, I should say, from most NECA figures. So, with that being said, sculpt-wise, they're always knocking it out of the park. But articulation-wise, this time, they did really, really good. So I'm not going to go and nitpick. The only thing I do have a problem with is the simple fact of not having maybe a happier head sculpt with him, because he is happy. His angry head sculpt is fine with the whited out eyes, but like Leonardo just comes with the whited out eyes. He doesn't come with the pupils. Yeah, and I think that what they kind of did with Michelangelo is kind of the way they did Raphael's head. You know, same thing. It's just a repeat of this, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you know, do I think that Raphael came with less hands than the others? Yes. Do I think that they had some missed opportunities when it comes to a couple things? Yes. Biggest pet peeve, though, is having to heat them up because of the seized up joints. Put them in a little bit of hot water or hit them with a hair dryer. It warms them up. Do I like the fact that they included Chompy and the Spy Roach? Yes. Do I think this should have been slashed? That's just my personal opinion. Choppy, slash, it doesn't make a difference. Either way, he still came with a pet turtle. You know, no problem. Now, as far as the Psy on the back, they do store here on the back of the, as I destroy my background, as they do store on his back right here. Be careful pushing them in. These are very thin, and you want to take your time with whatever you're doing with them so you do not break them, because you will if you try to force and push and pry and do things that, you know, you're not taking your time with, because those are the most intimidating set of Psys, even though they're the best looking pair of Psy that Raphael has come with in any Raphael figure, except for the last Roman one. The last Roman ones were really thin also. They were really long, but different. These ones are nice. They're nicely painted. Do I feel that there are a couple other here's and there's when it comes to like in the joint on the shoulder and on the knees? You can see the brown coming through. That shouldn't be, but hey, it is what it is. Do I feel that they kind of rushed this line a little bit to get it out? That's just my opinion. We shouldn't have all these QC issues with them. The paint on Raph's mask is a little thin. That could just be mine. I could be wrong. Same thing with the paint on the shoulder, you know, where the joints are, with the brown seeping through. That could just be on mine as well. I don't know. But if anybody else has him and they're having it and they see the same issue, leave it in the comments down below. Let me know. But yeah, guys, finally, after everything, I got him in. And no, I did not ever get a reply back from NECA when Dontel and Raphael were showing up. They just showed up. So good luck with that one. I'm going to leave it alone right there when it comes to that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review on the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael by NECA. Yeah, I mean, every one of these figures are absolutely gorgeous when it comes down to the sculpt. Love the weapons that they come with. Yeah, they added in a few little here's and there's that, you know, they didn't have to do, which they did do. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I did say there were some missed opportunities, maybe when it comes to a head sculpt or whatever the case it may be. But in the long run, you got a great line here. And it's going to do very, very well. It's going to do very, very well because people are eating them up. You know, if you look at the way the review has been from Michelangelo, Shredder, Leonardo, to Donatello, to Raphael, kind of a little bit short because some of them, they just, you know, they come with the same things. So I didn't want to keep us here too long, and I know I'm going on a rant right now, and I do apologize. But if you're a fan of this line, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. You could put these guys in with the Master of the Universe line. You can put them in with Batman. You can put them in with your regular Turtles. You can put them anywhere you want, and they will fit in. Have them fighting against Street Fighter figures, whatever. That is your universe. You do what you want with them. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. Always hit the notification bell so you never miss out on anything new. And I'll catch y'all on the flippity flip.